It's time for another exciting episode of the Joshcast. 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 Today's opening theme for the Joshcast was composed by Duke Mahogany, who is a legendary jazz composer and writer. Thank you for stopping by and writing the theme. You are welcome! So, Duke, I gotta be honest, I didn't expect you to be a giant red demon with a cape and a very Shakespearean voice. Yes, we often make assumptions about people based on their name and occupation, don't we? Yes, we do. So I'm curious, how did you get to be a jazz player? Well, I was in another dimension, a dimension of pure pain and suffering. A dimension where we take people and we rip them to pieces, but they are still alive in the process. But I felt empty. Something was missing. And then, one day, we stole into this world and captured wandering, well, we call them minstrels, but you call them musicians. We heard them play, and I at once fell in love with the sound of sweet, sweet jazz. And as I was eating the flesh of the jazz musician who I had captured and brought into my own world, I knew this was my true calling. Sounds like you have kind of a breathing problem there. Well, all right. Thanks, Duke, for dropping by and providing us with the opening theme for the podcast. Really appreciate it. My pleasure. So, late start this morning. Normally I get up at 7:30. Today I hit the snooze button and I got up at 8, and I feel like a failure already. So that's good. That's happening. The goal is to get up at 7:30, be out of the door at 8, so that way I can dedicate a good hour to the writing process. But now I'm behind, so best case scenario, it's going to be a half hour for the writing process, and that equals failure. That's why I am a failure. Or at least that's why I perceive myself to be a failure. I don't know. In reality, I am what I am. In reality, success and failure are arbitrary, intellectualized assessments that ultimately have no meaning because we are marching towards our eventual extinction or evolution into a higher state of being in which success and failure is irrelevant. Wow, that was deep, man. That was really deep. Really deep, man. Very deep. Thank you for that, Tim. You're welcome, man. Just thought I'd drop in and say that's deep. I appreciate that. Really do. Thank you. Good. Very nice. Guy on the motorcycle behind me is wearing an orange jacket. As well he should. He can be more easily seen that way. I do not understand people. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold the phone, podcast listener. He is not on a bike. He is on it's a three-wheeled bike thing, which is a trike. That's probably not the name for it, but that's what it is. It is a tricycle. And that also explains why he's wearing the orange and why he's wearing a helmet. A responsible person on a trike. I feel like I'm staring at myself. That is so what I would do. If for some reason, Josh, you can only afford a bike. No, I'm not going to. No. Those are too scary. No. Let's spring the extra few bucks and let's get 3 wheels. I don't trust my hand-eye coordination. No, sirree, Bob. And I want to wear bright orange, and I want people to see me on the street. I want to be as safe as possible. I want a woman to see me and go, well, I'm not going to sleep with him, but I trust him to house sit. So that's my life. That is my life. That is my life of the demon jazz musician, Duke. I don't know where he came from again. Still on the diet, still not eating sugar. Feeling better, pretty sure I lost weight. Feeling more present. Because I would use sugar, I think, as an escape to be on a high. So I'm more present with people. I find I wasn't rushing as much at work, slowing down, and yet able to get everything accomplished that I needed to get accomplished. More level-headed, more clear-headed, feeling healthier, have more energy, actually, less bowel problems. I'm trying to tell myself all of this because at the end of the day, it's still not as good as eating Skittles. It is still not as good as eating Skittles. That should be the title of my autobiography. None of it is as good as eating Skittles. Okay, just made a successful right turn. That's what this podcast is going to be, me just commenting on my own driving. Successful right turn. Fantastic. Please, God, don't die. That's my thought every time I'm in the car. I think if I were really, really uber rich, I would want a driver. And I would want that driver to know Kung Fu. Although, it would be useful if the driver was also a medical doctor. Then I could go, hey, does this look malignant? Nope. Great. Let's proceed with our day. I think I've talked about that in previous podcasts. I don't want to repeat myself. Ford Theaters, the place to be. What is that? I've never even heard of that. I've been in this town for 20 years and I've never heard of the Ford Theaters. Jarvis, tell me what this Ford Theater thing is. Sir, I'd have to look that up on Google, which I cannot do at the moment because I am your driver. We are driving at this point. Jarvis, do you know Kung Fu? Yes, sir. Yes, I do know Kung Fu. I'm versed in Kung Fu, and I'm also a medical doctor. Excellent, Jarvis. Excellent. Jarvis, I must tell you I feel the existential loneliness of a man who knows nothing but success. And there are simple things that I want, Jarvis. I want to be able to eat Skittles again. Sir, if you do that, it will affect your blood sugar. Yes, Jarvis. That is why you will build me a new body. A body that will last forever. And a body that can digest Skittles. That's what you will do, Jarvis. That is your purpose. Sir, I must confess, I know nothing of cybernetics. And you will learn, Jarvis. If you want to keep your job as my driver, you will learn. By God, you will learn. And then I will be immortal. And all the world will bow down to me. But I still must know what these Ford theaters are. I must know! I guess that's who I want to be when I grow up. That guy. Guy with a driver named Jarvis. That is what I want. That is my dream. I'm trying to enjoy this weather because it's about to get really hot. I'm trying to enjoy this gloom, the June gloom. It's difficult, though, because it's easier for me to be depressed when it's cloudy. I need sunlight. I'm the opposite of a vampire, which is a human being, I guess. Must be difficult to be a depressed vampire. Although they all seem depressed. No, they don't. That's not true. They either seem depressed or manic depressive. But a depressed vampire, that's got to be tough. Only kind of happy when the moon is full. Cloudy night? Forget it. Forget it. When it is cloudy out, I am depressed. I am Stephen. I thought you were Count Dracula. No! People assume that I am Count Dracula because I am a vampire and I wear a cape. And I have pale skin and I have this accent, but I am not in fact Dracula. I am Stephen. Stephen Johnson from West Colorado. Why do you have the accent then? I do not like this line of questioning. You should know that I've killed thousands of your kind just because I was hungry. So you're not at all... I mean, are you Eastern European? Do you have Eastern European descendants? I don't get where the accent is from. I will kill you, and I will eat you if you continue to ask me these questions. You're putting on the accent, aren't you? It's a fake accent. Do not push me in this, boy! All right, take it. If you need your accent, keep the accent. Who am I to judge? So, how long have you been working here at Starbucks? I have been at this Starbucks location for 15 years, and it serves my needs. I'm on the late shift, if you will. Because if you're on the early shift, the sunlight would kill you. Yes, of course! What did you say you wanted again? Just a hot tea. A hot tea. Just a hot tea. With all of the different kind of drinks we can make, all you order is hot tea. You are pathetic. I should kill you now. Last question about the accent. Last question. Did you get it from Londo Mollari from Babylon 5? I am telling you, I am not going to warn you again. Trying to put more of my honest opinions out there, especially in the stand-up. How do I feel about stuff? Because I feel like I've been veering away from that. So how do I feel about stuff? Well, this is what I've been chewing on. It's sad to me that in all reality, I'm probably not going to, if I'm in a relationship, if I fall in love, if that ever happens, big if at this point, it's not going to be like how it is in the movies. I'm not going to fall in love. More realistically, I'm going to gently be placed into love with the help of a stepladder and a spotter. Passion. I've never really felt. Have I felt passion? I don't know. I don't think I have. Usually what happens is that I start to feel passion for someone, and then I say to myself, it'll never work, and then it goes into depression. So it's a passion-depression cycle. That's really where it goes. I go, oh, yes, yes, yes. And then I go, I'm out of shape. All right. Not so much. Maybe, more realistically, that's my fear. That I'm never going to have that kind of passionate romance that I see in the movies. Or that I guess real people have it, from what I've heard. That it's just, I don't know. I guess my fear is that it's going to be I don't know. It's going to be a world like Mad Max. That's where it's going to be. And I'm wandering the road alone in a battle-laden Honda, and I come across somebody else who, has a scar and has a real, just doesn't trust people, and the two of us form an uneasy alliance. That's where we're going. I'm not going to fall in love. I'm going to form an uneasy alliance with somebody. It's going to be a mutually beneficial situation for the most part. That is, and that feels to me like the best case scenario. That's my other fear. That is my fear, ladies and gentlemen. That is my fear. It'd be a perfect place to end the podcast, except I'm not quite at my destination yet because I left too late. The traffic would not have been as bad, and I would have been able to end it there. But now, I've got 2 more minutes of podcast that I've got to fill. And it's got to be engaging content. Because if it's not engaging, you're going to lose listeners. And if you lose listeners, you're never going to build up a following. And if you never build up a following, how do you expect to sell tickets at your comedy shows? Ah, the mists of the Burbank Mountains. Child, do not go beyond the level of the mists of the Burbank Mountains. There you will find a great evil. The phantom of the movie studio. No, I don't like that. I can do better than that. Do not go above the mists of Burbank. There you will find a great evil. The phantom of IKEA. Nah, I can do better than that. Do not go above the mists of the Burbank Mountains. There you will find a great evil. And that evil is Jim Johnson, who owns a timeshare condominium with other evil people. Jim Johnson, the Phantom of the Opera, Count Dracula, the real Count Dracula, not some guy named Stephen who sounds like Count Dracula, and the Mummy. They all have a timeshare in the Burbank Mountains. Occasionally they give their timeshare to their friends to use. But by and large, they use their timeshares. By and large. Okay, now I'm home. I'm not home, actually. I'm at work. But May as well be home. I spend more time there than I do at home. There is no home. Home is a lost concept. In the end, we all go home. I don't think we go home at the end. I think the end is going to be just another suburb. Not home, but another suburb. That's the end.